Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2010 video game adaptation Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. The film is directed by Mike Newell and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Gemma Arterton, Ben Kingsley, Alfred Molina and Toby Kebbell. Right, the film focuses on Jake Gyllenhaal's character Dastan, who at a young age, as an orphan, is taken from the streets by the king and given a home in his palace and raised as a prince. The film jumps forward 20 years, and Dastan is a talented warrior, and they take a city. However, when he takes the city and they take Gemma Arterton's character Tamina prisoner, he discovers that she has on her a magical dagger. When you press the end of it, it turns back time by 1 minute. And he then discovers a plot by someone within his own family who has been trying to overthrow the king to take the crown for himself. And it's up to Dastan teaming up with Tamina to try and put a stop to this dastardly deed. Right, what are my thoughts on Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time? Well, I've never seen this film before. This is a first time watch for me, and it was kindly sent to me by Leo at Geek Legion of Doom, and I have done a reveal fairly recently on the channel. My most recent Blu-ray collection update video that's on the playlist. Leo sent me another package, and I think they're all this year, like video game movie adaptations, and I don't think I've seen any of them, to be fair. So I chose to watch this one first. Now, as video game adaptations go, this film I think is very, very good. I've always heard decent things about this film, just never got around to watching it. And part of the reason for that is, even though I'm a gamer myself, I've never really been a big fan of the Prince of Persia games. However, the Prince of Persia games, and there's some debate to be had, I suppose, but they were the blueprint for the Assassin's Creed games that came. So this, for me, if you like, watching this, all I kept thinking was, wow, this is the film that I wanted Assassin's Creed to be. Because they made that Assassin's Creed film a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, that wasn't very good. I mean, it wasn't tragically bad or anything, but it was just took itself far too seriously. And this film, just watching it, it just made me think that, wow, this would have been a really good Assassin's Creed film. The parkour's on point, you know, the adventure, the fighting. I mean, everything really. It's big budgeted stuff. Obviously, it's Disney. They pumped a lot of money into this film. I think it had something like a $200 million budget, and I think it made worldwide about, I don't know, 350 million, maybe a little bit more. So you couldn't really call this a success. It probably made a loss, to be fair, which is a shame because I don't think it deserved to. I personally think they've been, not just Disney, but a lot of studios have been putting far too much money into movies and rolling the dice, and I think they need to reel the budgets in now. And this film is a fine example of that. I think if they'd have made this film, they probably could have made a decent film with half the budget. It probably would have been a success, and they would then maybe have made a couple more. It was surprisingly enjoyable, this film. And you don't need to be a fan of the games to watch this film and have fun with it. While I have played Prince of Persia games in the past, they are not what I would consider classic games for me, not games that I revisit or anything like that. But I prefer the Assassin's Creed games to the Prince of Persia games. But this film, I think, does a brilliant job of adapting the game to the big screen. And if you went to watch this, or you watched this at home on Blu-ray and you knew nothing about Prince of Persia, it wouldn't matter in the slightest, because what they've made here is a really fun adventure film with some charismatic performances. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal works as this character of Dastan. I know after, I think certainly about 5 or 6 years after he made this film, he showed regret, I think, to making it. And I don't think he made another big budget movie until the Spider-Man one, when he was Mysterio. I think I'm right in saying that. So it had an effect on Jake Gyllenhaal. You know what I mean? This big budget movie sort of thing, resting on his shoulders. It was probably too much for him to carry a budget like this. Wasn't really necessarily fair. But he does a fine job here. There is some good effects on display here. Ben Kingsley is, as you would expect, in wonderful villainous form. Gemma Arterton, I mean, she's not only a good actress, but she's, stunning to look at as well, and she does well in movies like this, very much so. Alfred Molina is, it plays like this roguish criminal-like type that kind of befriends Jake Gyllenhaal's character. And there's some good hijinks going on, you know what I mean? And there's this really cool, set of assassins that are kind of sent after him, and they're almost mythical in how they attack and stuff like that. And so you get some credible villains going on here. It gets, by the end, it kind of gets a bit messy, I suppose, is what I would probably describe it as. There's the whole story of this knife, and then Ben Kingsley's character wanting to turn back time by many, many years so that he can kind of take the crown from his brother before his brother's sons are even born, sort of thing. And you just kind of like, hang on a minute, you just chill out a bit. So it all gets a bit effects heavy by the end, a bit messy, and it kind of loses its way a little bit. Whereas I thought the structure of the film, for like 75% of it, really, really worked. So yeah, other than a couple of messy parts here and there, I thought this was a really fun and entertaining movie, and it really, really surprised me. People say that, there's never any good video game adaptations and stuff, and I think there is plenty of evidence out there. Not just these days, but obviously in the past as well, because I think this is an excellent video game adaptation, and I would strongly recommend anybody watch this, regardless of the fact if you know what the Prince of Persia is or not. Watch this, and I think you would be entertained by it. I certainly had quite a lot of fun with it, and this will have pride and place in my collection, so thank you very much, Leo. And don't forget to call back on the channel, guys, for plenty more reviews and content leading up to Christmas and beyond. Thank you very much.